Welcome back to my dark corner of this sick world.
Hang on, baby!
We're looking at Damnation Alley.
Oh, you poor fool.
Which was due to be Fox's big release of 1977 and was given a much more substantial budget than their other sci-fi film, which no one had any faith in. Many good films failed because they had the misfortune to come up against Star Wars at the box office. Was Damnation Alley one?
This whole town is infested with killer cockroaches.
My gut reaction is not. The day the Earth stood still's Robert Wise was offered the project, but lived up to his name by turning it down.
Damnation Alley, who named it that?
Anyway, George Peppard's Major Denton arrives for work in a missile bunker, not knowing that today will see the end of the world.
Hostile missiles heading to major U.S. population targets.
Or at least of America, which is the same thing, and I like the horrifyingly clinical depiction of devastation.
Missile strikes confirmed. Boston, Philadelphia, Trenton, Washington, D.C.
As well as radioactive fallout, the blast knocks the Earth off its axis, so everything goes to hell, and the survivors hunker down in their fallout shelters until... And here's George again.
How far do you think we'll get?
Unaged by the intervening epoch, which we later learn was 2 years. More than enough time for any radioactivity to dissipate. Just ask the residents of Chernobyl.
You don't feel like admitting you're wrong, do you, Major?
The world has changed. There are giant scorpions. And many states are attractively tinted. Following an accident in the bunker, 4 survivors decide to head out. But in what? Well, this is what happens if you leave a member of the A-Team in a garage with a blowtorch, some sheet metal, and a handful of elastic bands.
As long as it's clear, I'm in charge.
I love it when a plan comes together. One of the team buys it early on, but when they stop in Vegas... I understand they cut the bit where all 3 men say, dibs.
Ah, damn.
Janet was an aspiring singer-songwriter given a break by the casino owner, but how did she survive?
Brought me down to the fallout shelter. So I could do him a favor for the favor he was going to do for me.
All this talk about Me Too, nobody considers the women who survived nuclear holocaust because of sexual harassment.
As usual.
If you're talking about Damnation Alley, sooner or later you encounter the elephant in the fallout shelter.
Armor-plated cockroaches.
Arriving in town, the team find the bones of the inhabitants.
Oh my God.
But...
Well, I mean, they're awfully clean, like they've been polished almost.
And this is worth mentioning because when the flesh-eating cockroaches attack... I'll just seal myself in here, because it certainly worked for the last people. Yeah. We'll find someone to replace you. Someone more likely to live to the credits.
Well, I'll go with you if you teach me to ride.
Yeah, the white kid is probably safe, even though they stop at Rasputin's gas station. This is a film with narrow vision, which is a good thing. These people aren't trying to save the world, they're trying to survive.
Well now, you two gonna continue your life of nonconformity? You wanna come along with us?
It's about the characters, not the big picture. Great. But there's a reason I haven't talked about the characters. Interaction is practically non-existent.
I don't care.
Denton is by-the-book military. Hero Tanner is counterculture. The conflict is set up...
I just think we're not temperamentally suited as a work team.
...but never delivered on. 2 men, 1 woman. Set up...
Well, ain't that just our luck?
Never delivered on. Perhaps because...
I want to give my wife an anniversary present.
Mentioned before the bombs drop. Never even hinted at again.
See you on the other side.
I'm not saying they should have gone for those cliché storylines, but They chose to put the focus on character, and there is no character story.
You son of a...
This should have been a sci-fi stagecoach. When you put differing characters in a confined space and a dangerous situation, stuff has to happen between them.
I don't know.
Ironically, it would matter less if it was about the situation, if they were trying to save the world. But after they drive into the end of 2001: A Space Odyssey, everything just goes back to normal. Which is odd.
Nothing good ever just happens by itself.
I would agree, but there you are. Thanks for watching. For more post-apocalyptic reviews, click here. Damnation Alley is a film known for one scene, the killer cockroaches. What other films are defined by that one scene? Let us know your favourites in the comments below.
Let's get out of here.